Hey, what's going on, friends? Adi over here. So, I've been asked a number of questions. Why do I live in this country? What are the differences between life back in Singapore and life over here? What is the American dream to me, and what is the American dream in today's world, and what is it all about? Let's get started. First of all, I'm making this video because having these real life conversations, deep conversations, is very important. And it is something which I've missed for the last year and a half. And I just wanted to get myself out there and communicate with you guys. So first of all, American dream. Obviously, it's been shaped by centuries of immigration. Firstly, due to religious persecution, and then famine, poverty, and obviously starting from, let's say, 1950s, 60s immigration. Many people came over here because of better education, better quality of life, or a different quality of life. And refugees continue coming over here due to religious and racial political strife back in their home countries. So lots of multitude of reasons why people immigrate over here. For me, I came over here in January of 2015. If you guys know me well, I was born in India, but I grew up almost entirely in Singapore. Served 2 years of national service in the Singapore Armed Forces, and worked in the recruitment industry for a year and a half. And then I came over here for a number of reasons. Number one, just wanted to get a different type of education, wanted to expose myself to different trains of thought, wanted to live in different cities, and also wanted to live in a different climatic condition, and wanted to expose myself to people of different walks of life, different ethnic backgrounds, and different backgrounds in general. Just wanted a new life because I felt like a bird in a cage back home, because I felt like my ability to make decisions for myself and exercise my own independent thought was getting a little limited. So that's one of the reasons why those are several reasons why I chose to immigrate over here 6 years ago. Obviously, Singapore is a great country, and I am very grateful for having grown up over there, grateful for my parents, my teachers, my friends, etc. But there are certain reasons that have propelled me to come over here to this country. And to me, American dream right now in today's world, it's going to be all about a juxtaposition between growth in your corporate side of things, financial attainment, against mental and emotional health, which is really important. Mental and emotional health really important, because over here I realized that several companies that I've worked for, managers have been very nice, and they've asked me, hey, how's it going? Is the workload too much for you? Is it fine? Are you able to handle it? Are you able to handle the stress? There's lots of awareness given to mental health, emotional health in this country. And I understand that many Americans are, they're quite disenchanted with what we have right here. The healthcare, very expensive, I agree. Therapy is expensive. I've been to therapy before. A couple of years ago, it is expensive. I agree with you. But at least there's a sense of awareness over here given to mental health, whereas in several other societies, in many societies, it's actually derided. Each time you talk about mental health, you say that you have anxiety, depression, insomnia, this and that. People look at you as though you're insane. But over here, there is a sense of awareness given to mental health, and that's something which we shouldn't take for granted. Especially before the pandemic, people used to run the rat's race, slog, and then take a 2-week vacation. Slog, 2-week vacation, right? But right now it's all about, especially during the pandemic, people have brought in mini vacations into their daily lives. So, and also making conscious choices. Okay, I'm not going to just travel impulsively, but I'm going to spend 2 months in the mountains in Colorado, or in Miami, Florida, or Sedona, Arizona. So people are making more conscious choices, conscious travel decisions, rather than traveling by impulse. So I feel like mental, emotional health, giving importance to it, and meditation, and being in nature, being one with nature, and making conscious travel choices have been incorporated into um, the American dream, alongside financial and material attainments, which are also quite important, because hard work, determination, entrepreneurship, these are certain traits that have shaped America, which we have of today. That's why so many inventions have come out of this country, right? All the way from internet to Instagram, Facebook, etc. So it's always going to be a balance, and I feel like we are heading towards a sense of balance. That's what is American dream of today's society, and that's the American dream that I am striving to live. So would I live in this country for long? Well, I feel like I do have a sense of belonging to this country, or to North America in general. Canada, Canada, United States, Mexico, they're all really good countries. So I feel like I've got this sense of belonging over here. There are also like different cities for you to choose from. There are certain cities that I wouldn't live in because I don't really have a sense of belonging in terms of like the sheer number of activities that I get to do in those places, right? Whereas certain cities like Seattle, for example, or Denver, they were much to my liking. So it's always going to be a city for different groups of people, different walks of life, different sensibilities. So that's the beauty of America. There are certain things which I obviously miss about Singapore, and first of all, it's the safety. Singapore is really, really safe, even in the shadiest neighborhood in Singapore. Now, I lived in this place called Geylang, which is a red light area, and even at 2 a.m. at night, 3 a.m. at night, yeah, it was pretty safe. Over here, there are certain neighborhoods I wouldn't walk after 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. at night. It's pretty shady, certain neighborhoods. So you've got to be really safe. So that's one thing which I miss about Singapore. The other thing which I miss about Singapore is going to be the public transport, which is really well developed. There just aren't enough train stations, and the government is like building more and more in Singapore just to keep the city really well connected, and that's wonderful. And over here it's still very automobile car driven, so you got to learn driving, and you got to drive, or if you don't drive, make a friend who drives. So yeah, it's still very car dependent over here, private transportation dependent in this country. So that's one thing which I miss about Singapore, because sometimes I just don't feel like driving. Sometimes I just want to sit in a bus or sit in a train, look at the scenery, and go somewhere far, far away, because sometimes driving can be exhausting, day in and day out. So that's one thing which I miss back home. And my friends, definitely miss my friends back home. Familial connections are much easier to maintain back home, because you have relatives who just live about 20-30 minutes away. You just meet them, say hi, have nice lunch with them. Here I do have relatives living in New Jersey and Texas. It's going to be quite a distance away, and I haven't met them for quite some time. But that also comes with a caveat back in Singapore, because everyone knows where you are, because people are like, oh, I saw you with this person, or I saw you with this group of friends, and are you dating this person or that person? So in Singapore, everyone knows where you are and who you are, and over here there's always a sense of independence that's given to you, right? Because it's a much vaster country. It's very hard to keep track of you, well, unless you're posting every day on Instagram or Facebook, so it's a different story. So yeah, but on the whole, one of the key factors for me is the climate. Spring, summer, fall, winter. I really like the colder seasons. The cold breeze against my face, it's a sensation which I always look forward to. Snowshoeing, hiking in the snow, and learning how to ski. So yeah, that's something which I really cherish about being here in this continent. So yeah, look forward to living here, and also look forward to visiting Singapore in the near future, and I will keep visiting Singapore just to say hi to you guys, and yeah, say hi to my family. So that's something which I would do. Anyways, if you're watching this video, take care, and stay safe. Just ask me if you have any questions, and I look forward to catching up with you again. Take care, fellas.